Tony, you're bringing Rocky Top its first national championship in baseball. How does that sound?
If it was any other year, Tennessee's loss to Arkansas probably would have cost the Vols a spot in the college football playoff. But the good news is this isn't any other year.
Who is the messiest roommate? 3, 2, turn 'em around. Chaz says Caleb, and Caleb says Chaz. Before buttons of Tony Vitello's face could be found all around the city of Knoxville, he was just a regular teenager going to high school right behind me at De Smet Jesuit High School here in St. Louis. I was at the mall the other day, and I saw a little girl wearing a Kiki Malloy t-shirt. How cool is that? Freshman, first year with the Vols, a hometown kid right around the corner in Pigeon Forge. You just pitched in Game 3 of a Super Regional to help send your team to Omaha.
I mean, I'm getting chills right now. Look at it.
Iowa came into the Citrus Bowl sporting a top 5 defense in the country, allowing just 102 rushing yards per game. Sophomore running back Dylan Sampson, making his first career start, by the way, eclipsed that total alone. The 5-star recruit has had some playing time throughout the season, but of course it was Joe Milton who was the starting quarterback for all 12 games in the regular season. How has having your daughter Aspen changed you as a person, being a dad?
Stay alive, baby.
You heard Knox, and I just lost my job. Back to you guys. SEC regular season title, a tournament championship, a dominant regional, a super regional sweep, and now a trip to the Women's College World Series for the first time in 8 years. The last time Tennessee won at the Swamp, the 2 starting quarterbacks, Graham Mertz and Joe Milton, were just toddlers. Now, 20 years later, the Vols will turn to Milton, a Florida native, playing in his first ever game in Gainesville to end the 2-decade drought. Last year, you were at Jacksonville State. Now, a year later, you're playing here at Tennessee, playing in the SEC, playing for a top team in the nation. When you think about your journey, what are you most proud of? Welcome to Orlando, as the Vols will take the field at Camping World Stadium right behind me in just 3 days against Iowa. And when they do so, there will be a lot of new faces in the secondary. Texas A&M came into Knoxville boasting the best run defense in not only the SEC, but in the nation. Alabama, Arkansas, and Auburn combined to rush over 200 yards against the Aggies in the previous 3 games. The Vols, on the other hand, picked up 232 rushing yards alone on Saturday.
I mean, everywhere we go, somebody knows who he is.
No matter where we walk in, hey, Chad, how's it going? Somebody knows him wherever we are.
There's no doubt Chad Brown is a celebrity.
We went to Florida last year to Destin, and we were walking down to the beach, and a coach from, another state walks up to him and goes, "Hey, CB45, what are you doing here?"
There's no doubt Chad Brown keeps busy.
I do the parab, I referee for TSSAA.
He keeps the books for Central High School for basketball.
He works at Walmart and has to be there on Friday mornings about 4 a.m.
I even have my own podcast on Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock.
But at 6 months old, there were a lot of doubts surrounding Chad's life.
He was diagnosed with a neuromuscular disorder that affected his muscles, his fine motor skills, and things like that. So from a very early age, he had to go through occupational and physical therapy to learn how to sit, to stand, to do anything.
But one skill he learned sticks out from the rest.
They just told me to throw the ball back to him and get the ball back to him, and I always never give up.
That started his love for anything ball-related, whether it be football, baseball, basketball.
Chad may not be able to play sports, but he sure knows a lot about them.
He has books upon books upon books of stats that he's just written down. He has sports figures, literally thousands of sports figures.
Dennis Rodman's with different hair, Peyton Manning figures, got his dad, Archie Manning.
Professional athletes may take over his room, but high school sports take over his life. That was evident when Chad met Joe McNish of Rivalry Thursday.
We would just start talking, and I realized how much he loved high school football. And I said, hey, you want to go to the game with me? And so he said, yeah. And so we started going to the games. Then after the first year, Mark calls me and says, hey, I'm thinking about getting Chad to do the parab job. You think he'd do that? And I said, oh, Mark, you'll make his life. And he's like, can you believe I've got on the crew? I'm on the crew.
10 years later, Chad is still on the crew, which is now
A brotherhood. That's what Rivalry Thursday is all about. It's about family.
That family has given Chad a reason to smile. A smile that's shared with those around him.
I never got to stand on any sideline and watch him play sports because he was not able to do that. So I get to stand on the sidelines and watch him enjoy a sport, but also be a part of broadcasting that and letting other people see that. And it just makes me very, very proud.
I don't know that there are many joys in what we do with high school football like what Chad has brought to what we do. More so than any football game we put on TV, I see the smile on his face, and that means the world to me.
Honestly, I get a little choked up sometimes, and I'll look down from the press box, and I'll see him out there run up down the sidelines, and I get a little emotional about it because I know how happy that makes him.